One of the key issues at the G7 will be Russia. A lot of people thought that Giorgia Meloni would be soft on Putin, but she has turned out to be a staunch Western ally. Just ahead of this summit, Italy unveiled a new military package for Ukraine. But here in Bari, the sentiment is mixed. And a big reason for that is Santa Claus. Not the one that you're thinking about. This is a 4th century saint who inspired the modern day Santa Claus. His remains are buried right here in a basilica in Bari. And right next to it is a gift from Vladimir Putin. How is Bari coming to terms with this contrasting reality? How is Bari related to Russia and Putin? Our next report tells you. When I say Santa Claus, what is it that comes to your mind? Red dress, long white beard, maybe a few reindeers? Well, that's the marketed version of it. The real Santa Claus is right here in Bari. And today we are heading to his place of burial. The calm Mediterranean Sea on one side, the old Bari town on the other, and nestled in between is this basilica. It is dedicated to Saint Nicholas, a Christian saint. The Santa Claus you know is based on him. Saint Nicholas was born in the 4th century in present-day Turkey. As a Christian saint, he became famous for secretly giving gifts, especially to poor children. That's how Saint Nicholas became Santa Claus. In this part of the world, in the Mediterranean, he's a very important religious figure. Thousands of Christians visit this basilica every day to offer prayers. Inside it are the remains of Saint Nicholas. Around 1,000 years back, Turkish sailors stole them from the home country and brought them here. And this has become an important religious symbol. The locals here love him. Saint Nicholas brings in a lot of tourists. He is also a global symbol for peace and forgiveness, sort of like an ambassador for Bari. Statues of Saint Nicholas are common here. So is the tradition of keeping his photo inside your wallet. The belief is Saint Nicholas is watching over you. So that's ambassador plus guardian angel. A lot of pressure for one saint. Now you can add politics to the mix. Christianity is said to have 3 main branches: Catholic, Protestant, and Orthodox. The Catholic Church is very powerful in Italy. It is headed by the Pope in the Vatican. And the Orthodox? Most of them are in East European nations like Russia, Ukraine, and Bulgaria. Bari has been a meeting point for these branches. This basilica itself is a Roman Catholic institution. But Saint Nicholas is revered by the Orthodox Christians too. So once a week, his crypt is open to them. They can go in, do their own Orthodox rituals, and pay their respects. In 2007, one such Orthodox Christian from Russia visited Bari, Vladimir Putin. In Russia, Saint Nicholas is probably the most important saint. He is said to have rescued Russia multiple times from crises, which is why Putin came here. As president, he's built a close alliance with Russia's Orthodox Church. It's a symbiotic relationship. Putin backs the Orthodox Church, the Church offers him legitimacy. But 2007 wasn't Putin's first interaction with Bari. That happened many years ago. This is a Saint Nicholas statue right outside the basilica. And next to it you can see a plaque. It has gotten dark around the edges, it's an old one. But if you look closely, you can still make out this is a letter of friendship and cooperation to the people of Bari. And here is a signature of Vladimir Putin. This is what it says, Vladimir Putin. The Russian president gifted this statue to the people of Bari in the year 2003, and with it he wrote a letter of friendship, which was then converted into a plaque. For years no one really cared about it, but now it has become a politically charged issue. Because Italy is firmly in Ukraine's corner in the war against Russia, and a lot of people think that if not the statue, at least this plaque signed by Putin should be removed. The chorus is quite strong. In 2022, a petition was drafted to remove the plaque. Around 12,000 locals signed it, but the town mayor said no. He says history cannot be cancelled.
Saint Nicholas is in our hearts. For us it is culture, on top of faith and religion. But Saint Nicholas is our patron saint, so it will never happen, that's for sure. I mean, we won't make it happen.
Roman Catholics and Orthodox Christians have many differences. often bitter ones, but Bari stood as a symbol of hope. In 2017, the Pope announced a very important decision. He decided to send parts of St. Nicholas's remains to Russia, specifically his ribs. You wouldn't believe the joy in Russia. Thousands queued up outside a church in Moscow. They waited hours to catch a glimpse of the relics.
An event like this does not happen every year or even every decade. When I left the church, I had a feeling that I wasn't walking on the ground, I was just floating. It was an amazing feeling. I feel very good and comfortable in my soul.
Putin too arrived at the church. He kissed the glass case holding the remains of St. Nicholas. It was indeed a show of cooperation. But the war in Ukraine has changed it all. Not only has it pitted Roman Catholics against Orthodox Christians, it has also pitted Barisians against Barisians. This city has long been Italy's gateway to the East. As a result, a lot of East Europeans live here. Ukrainians, Russians, Slovenians and Bulgarians. They too are divided over the war. Some are silent on the invasion, others are vocal in condemning Vladimir Putin. It's a sad turn of events for a city that once stood for a lot more. We're talking about two power centers of Christianity, the Roman Catholic Church of Italy and the Orthodox Church of Russia. This city and this basilica gave hope of cooperation between these two power centers. In fact, the Pope allowed some of the remains of St. Nicholas to be taken to Russia in the last decade, sort of like a goodwill gesture. But now politics has interfered. Putin is no longer welcome in Bari or anywhere in Europe. Meanwhile, there's a buzz around here that Ukrainian President Zelensky may visit. Fan of Italy's famous cuisine? Well, we are serving it with a side of diplomacy. As the G7 leaders gather in southern Italy, Vantage is taking you to the heart of the action. What's the agenda? Who is invited? And how is Italy preparing for it? Catch the special edition of Vantage throughout this week, only on Firstpost. Fan of Italy's famous cuisine? Well, we are serving it with a side of diplomacy. As G7 leaders gather in southern Italy, Vantage is taking you to the heart of the action. What's the agenda? Who is invited? And how is Italy preparing for it? Catch the special edition of Vantage throughout this week, only on Firstpost.